I've been in crypto for 9 years at this point, which is crazy to think. I mean, we're in 2026. I got in the industry in 2017, and this is the worst sentiment and probably the worst overall price action that I have ever seen consistently from this market. I'm talking about after FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, everything that went under Luna in May of 2022. Nothing I've ever seen has really come close to this price action. Seeing Bitcoin down 30% over the month, 22% over 7 days. And of course, Bitcoin has had these downturns in the past, but at this price level, at what was $90,000, down 22% in 7 days is really insane to think about. So in this video, we're going to talk about the one thing that's probably on everyone's mind. Should you sell all your crypto? Should you be majority cash? What should you be really focusing on in this market to capitalize whenever the actual bottom does come through? Is it over for crypto? We're going to talk about that and more in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right. And as always, before we get started, guys, like that video down below and subscribe to the channel. I know it's a bear market. I know things are not going well out there. Nobody's altcoins except for Hyperliquid are doing anything worth value. So like the video and subscribe down below if you are still here and bullish on the long-term future of crypto. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors. And today we're going to be diving into Gravity. We'll be utilizing their platform to take a look at some of these charts, which are just absolutely disgusting. These 15-minute charts just really make you want to vomit. But let's go ahead and just dive right into it, guys. We could scroll through the entire watch list here. There's like 10 pieces of green throughout this whole thing. The one knight in shining armor in this market is Hyperliquid, and it's even down 8% on the daily time period. But just looking at this, I mean, XRP's down 32%. Solana's down 30% this week. We have Dogecoin down 21% this week. Cardano down 23% this week. Zcash, really the darling of the last 3 to 4 months in the market, down 40% on the weekly. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 down 24%. It does not matter what you're holding except for Hyperliquid. And now really all the weekly gains, on the month it's up 20%, but on the week it's now only up 1.5%. It is really impressive how well it is holding. And just look at some of these charts. We have Bitcoin, obviously. We see ETH under 2K. Tom Lee's Bitmine is down an egregious amount of money on their big purchases for their treasury company. So we can see here, this chart just does not look good. I mean, Sol's about to go under 80. You look at this chart. We started the week on Sol just 2 days ago, was at $100. I mean, anyone who has been short Solana is absolutely printing at this point in time. And look, like I said at the beginning of the show, this is worse than post FTX, Luna, BlockFi, to me combined. I've never seen sentiment like this. I've never seen people capitulate at such a rapid rate. I've never seen people on the timeline literally just leaving the industry. Even influencers are just dying down. They don't want to be a part of it anymore. They're pivoting. Of course, we do prediction markets here, but I just think that's a new wave to add to our crypto content. And I think that there's a lot of value shared in those videos, but we're not leaving the crypto industry. We've seen these types of things over time. But like I said, a 20% downturn at these price levels over 7 days is literally diabolical. We can take a look here. I had seen someone in my replies post this. And what I'm meaning is at these price levels, right? So someone was talking about, well, December 14th, 2018, it was really bad. Bitcoin went down 84%, but Bitcoin was only at $3,000. So seeing a 20% downturn at 65K, that's like a $17,000 dip over 7 days time period. That is literally insane. So I understand there have been bigger downturns in the market, but still, this is probably the worst I've seen given the price point. And if you would have told me at all-time highs of 126K, I remember I was traveling. Me and my fiance had just gotten engaged. We were euphoric, and so were the markets. I remember late night, I got a notification on my phone, Bitcoin new all-time highs at $126,000. And I said, well, if you would have told me that at all-time highs of 126, that heading into Q4, which should have been the most bullish time period of the 4-year cycle this last fall, that in 6 months' time, which is where we are today, Bitcoin would be trading at $69,000. It's dipped $4,000 more since I even saw the price this morning and tweeted that. That's insane. Like this price action is literally just absolutely abysmal. I probably would have laughed and said, yeah, right. Well, someone's laughing out there right now because here we are today. And the person laughing is not me. As Miles points out, Bitcoin drops below its market mean for the first time in 3 years. I mean, little under, like 80 days short of 3 years. It's just what is happening right now in the crypto market is really just depressing. And some of you have to make light of it, at least, we're community members now, right? So Becker says, a neighbor greeted me on a walk today and asked me cheerfully how crypto is going. I stabbed him. And then we see here, this is 9/11 for Uber drivers. This was the tweet of the day right here. At least we can laugh about some of these things. We can laugh in pain together. XRP down 16%. This is 9/11 for Uber drivers. Of course, everyone on the timeline's talking about MicroStrategy. Could MicroStrategy blow up? Maybe. But he will be able to borrow more and more and more and just continue to buy the chart. So to me, I don't really think that that's a risk. But as John Wang from 𝗘𝗃 does point out, MicroStrategy blowing up would literally be bigger than FTX. It would be bigger than any capitulation or any black swan event that we had ever seen. I mean, the Bitcoin price, if MicroStrategy blew up, would be absolutely insane. But look, should you be selling crypto? Should you be majority cash? Here's what I'm doing. Yes, I have trimmed down most of my weak altcoin bags or things that I deem really susceptible to further dips, right? I'm completely out of 𝗬𝗏, Avalanche at this point in time. I mean, 50-40% dips over the month. I cut those. I'm in cash, okay? Only real altcoins I'm holding at this point in time. Unfortunately, I am in a little bit of Solana still, but Bitcoin as well as Hyperliquid and 𝗨. Those are the only 3 coins that I'm sized into at this current point in time. And what should you be doing? Obviously stat cash. Focus on, this is the time period in the market to reload. So yes, probably your portfolio has taken a hit, but focus on making money in your jobs or whatever the case is and allocate properly between the stock market and between crypto. And what I would be focusing on, you're getting a gift. This Bitcoin price is an absolute gift. In a few years' time, this is like FTX level. FTX, we were at 15K when FTX blew up. And I remember that day was my single biggest Bitcoin purchase other than when Bitcoin was like a few $100s back in like 2017 or whatever the case is. Other than those time periods, I had never made a Bitcoin buy as sizable as I did whenever Bitcoin was at $16,000 after FTX blew up. That's the type of opportunity we're getting here. If this thing goes into the 50s, I mean, I already DCA still to this day, every single day. Obviously, my recent DCAs are getting absolutely crushed, but this is the time to stack Bitcoin. I don't think this asset class is going anywhere. I really don't think that we're in danger of crypto being over. I do think Donald Trump has, not done as much as he says he was going to for crypto, but I do think he'll turn that around if he really wants to maintain that sentiment amongst his crypto fan base / supporters. And look, I agree with this tweet right here. Generational opportunities happen when everyone is bearish, and everyone is bearish right now. Everyone's acting like a genius. But, we've been in a bear market for 6 months now, and everyone's now, oh, we're going to go lower. We're going to go lower. It's like, obviously, we're literally in, it's like Armageddon out there. This is the apocalypse whenever it comes to crypto. But generational opportunities happen when everyone's bearish. Most people quit. Your competition will disappear. Bear markets are painful, but they're the best time to set yourself up for retirement. People fail in this space because they leave, and that is completely true. Your edge can be as simple as never giving up. And the one thing I'm going to say here is they used to say in crypto, with altcoins even, time in the market beats timing the market. I don't necessarily think that's true anymore, but I do think time spent in the market, not even your capital in the market, is going to come out on top long term. Do not capitulate. Make sure you're tuned into the day-to-day of crypto, and you won't miss the bottom. I can nearly guarantee you that. I mean, this guy's the head of Sol at World LibertyFi, and he's out here saying, honestly, and I'll attest, some of my biggest trades came in bearish time periods. 𝗵𝗵𝗃 spawned in the middle of a bear market, for example. Some of my biggest wins overall were from some of the bearish time periods that we have ever seen in crypto. So look, crypto isn't over. We see stuff like Hyperliquid. We see yesterday they made $4.3 million. Like, there are protocols out there worth your time, worth your energy, worth your money, and really worth holding in your portfolio. Even in dire times like this, like you see the $4.3 million in fees, and 99% of that they're putting back into the chart. So for me, those are the types of things in crypto that you still want to have allocation to. But I am majority stablecoins/cash. And the one thing I guess I can thank myself for is back in 2022, 2021, I had started really focusing on building a diverse stock portfolio. And without that, I'd really be like, okay, what the heck is going on? But at this point in time, look, guys, it sucks. You might feel like you want to quit. You might feel like you don't want to pay attention to the crypto markets anymore. And I can tell you, you're not the only one that's feeling that way. And it's especially hard to come on here, even as, it's not a pity party or something, but it's really hard to come on here every single day and talk about crypto with you guys when everything's just going to hell. Like the price action is, like I said, a literal crypto apocalypse level. So look, all I can say is crypto's not over. It's just not the asset class that people are allocating to at this moment in time. With precious metals in a bull run, the stock market is literally in like the biggest bull run we've ever seen. Over the last 4 years, the stock market has done numbers unheard of. So do not give up. Do not capitulate. I would still maintain bags in solid projects and DCA some of these lows on stuff like Tau at the low 100s, and even Hyperliquid if it continues its run. You want to have allocation to that as well. And then most importantly, you're going to want to have allocation to Bitcoin. And these price levels are a literal gift. We're about to dip into the 64,000s, man. This is bad. This is really, really bad. But hey, this is what we're in for. We're in for the extreme highs and the really depressing lows. That is what crypto is, and that's what crypto has been. And based off the cycle, we still have 8 months to go before the quote unquote bottom. October, the year after the 4-year cycle, is usually the bottom. So, we have a long time. We have about 8 months to potentially have to suffer here. I wouldn't be surprised. On the video 2 days ago, I think it was Tuesday on the live stream, I talked about how 67,000 was in play. Now we're at 64,000. We're already at 64. We just dipped $500 in like 30 seconds, man. This is absurd. But look, the 50s are a real possibility now. Like at the momentum that this thing is dropping, literally in this time period, what is this? January 14th. Let's just do the ruler here on gravity. 34% over the last 3 weeks on Bitcoin. That is just from 97K on January 14th to where we are today. That is crazy. So like I said, crypto is all about the insane highs and the even worse feeling. I think the lows feel almost worse than the euphoria of the highs. So we're just a glutton for pain in this industry. The one thing I would advocate is spend time in the market, still farm protocols for potential airdrops coming up, and try to hone in on your craft. Like if you think you want to try to day trade the markets eventually, this is the time to kind of test out, maybe with small capital, with big, obviously the market is moving in one specific direction over the last 3 weeks. So the trend is your friend in that perspective. And if you are focusing on day trading, check out Gravity. Gravity is zkSync's premier DEX. You can custody your own funds, and also you can invest and get APY, up to 21%. So literally just for having capital on their platform, you will get varying rates of APY based on the assets you trade and the capital that you hold. So I think it's a really good opportunity, and Gravity has a pretty big upcoming airdrop as well. We're about to dip into the 63,000s. This is crazy. We've dipped like $2,000 since I recorded this 14 minutes ago. So I'm going to hop off this video and hopefully the Bitcoin price can kind of stabilize, but I really doubt it. Like the video down below and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, we will be doing a live stream on 𝗘𝗪 going over all of my Super Bowl predictions. We're talking about mention markets, halftime show, who's going to be there, different, there's so many different things on 𝗘𝗪 for the Super Bowl, and we will be going over it all here tomorrow live. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, don't capitulate, and as always, trade responsibly and stay bullish, my friends.